Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the 42nd class of G3 Hifz-ul-Qur'an course. So inshallah today we will be focusing on the first part of Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 287. Before we start, let's go over the opening prayer. ST, could I have a student for the prayer, please?
Assalamu alaikum. Can I request NG 3065 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
Good, alhamdulillah, and you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Jazakallah for asking. So if you could start with Tawuz and Tasmi and then recite the opening prayer for me, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا. Oh Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge. Ibn Hadith 925.
Jazakallah, mashallah, that was really well recited. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. So before we start today's class, I'll quickly go over the rules for this class. Make sure all of you have done your wudu, you're wearing clean clothes, and have got a head covering. All of you are requested to sit in a quiet place with your parents and make sure you have your correct IEDs. So before we go on to the verse for today, let's quickly go over the rule in focus. So the rule that we're focusing on today is the quiescent alif and hamza. So sometimes the letter hamza appears on top of the letter waw or letter ya with a sukoon. Such hamza should be pronounced with a soft jerk from the bottom of the throat. Similarly, alif sakin should also be pronounced with a soft jerk from the bottom of the throat. However, this sound should not be mixed with the sound of the letter ayn, which is pronounced from the middle of the throat. So ST, if I could have a few students for the practice, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Can I request AG 3062 to unmute himself?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. If you could recite Tawuz and Tasmi and then recite the first three words for me, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يؤمنون أخطأنا قالوا أنؤمن.
Jazakallah. In the last word, you made a really strong jerking sound. So try again and make sure you make a soft jerk.
قالوا أنؤمن.
That was much better. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. ST, if I could have another student for the practice, please.
Can I request NG 3119?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Jazakallah for asking. So if you could recite Tawuz and Tasmiyah and read the last three letters for me, please. Sorry, the last three words.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قالوا أنؤمن لا تأخذه معقول.
Jazakallah, that was recited perfectly. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. So I'll quickly play the audio now. So all of you are requested to listen to the audio and make sure you recite alongside it.
لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا.
So I hope you all recited alongside that. Esther, if I could have a few students for a practice, please.
Yes, can I request AG3110 to unmute himself?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I am fine.
Alhamdulillah. So if you could start with Tawaz and then I'll move on to the verse.
What surah are we doing?
You just have to read off the screen. So if you could start with the Tawaz.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا يكلف الله نفسا
Would you like to repeat after me?
Okay.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
La yukallifullahu. La yukallifullah.
La yukallifullahu nafsan
illa
wus'aha
laha
ma kasabat wa alayha ma maktasabat
Rabbana la tu'akhidna in nasina aw akhtana aw akhtana
ربنا ولا
tahmil alaina isran kama hamaltahu
على الذين
من قبلنا.
من قبلنا.
Jazakallah. Esther, if I could have another student, please.
Yes, can I request NG3101 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. So if you could start with Tawaz and then I'll move on to the verse.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لو كلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعلينا ما اكتسبت. ربنا لا تزدنا عن نصينا أو أخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا.
Jazakallah. So if you could just repeat the first word again. So just this word.
لا يكلفه.
Jazakallah. And over here, make sure you prolong the lam.
لا.
Well done. And if you could repeat this word again, please.
أخطأنا.
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 Jazakallah. And this one here as well, please.
إسرا.
Isran. Jazakallah. So make sure you remember these while you're learning the surah for Hifz, okay?
Okay.
Jazakallah. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. So now we will open up the breakout rooms and we'll continue listening to the Hifz in the main room. When you see a message on your screen requesting you to join the breakout room, all of you are requested to click on that and join the breakout room, please. Jazakallah. So Esther, if I could have a student for the Hifz, please.
Can I request NG3031 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Could you please recite Surah Quraysh for me, please?
I don't know that one.
Do you know Surah Fil?
No.
Okay. Could you recite Surah Maun then, please?
Assalamu alaikum.
I don't know that one either.
One has recited Surah Maun before.
Okay. Could you recite Surah Kawthar then, please?
Surah Al-Qur'an.
Jazakallah for coming on the mic. Esther, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can NG3033 unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Could you recite Surah Maun for me, please?
I don't know. I only know a tints.
Sorry?
I don't really know. I only know a bit.
Okay, could you recite as much as you know, please?
Okay. Now, what does it start with again?
أرأيت الذي
أرأيت
Start with
الذي
أعوذ بالله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي
يدعو.
That's all I know.
Okay, Jazakallah. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. Asti, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request NG3041 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Could you recite the first 8 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah for me, please?
Okay. There's a bit of noise downstairs, so I have to go upstairs.
We'll get back to you.
Okay. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك
Asti, I think they've muted themselves. Could I have another student in the meanwhile, please?
Okay, can I request NG3036 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum, NG3036.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Could you recite Surah Al-Fil for me, please?
How does it start with?
Alam tara kayfa?
أعوذ بالله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول.
Jazakallah. I think that was really well recited. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. Asti, could I have another student, please?
Can I request NG3045 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Could you recite Surah Quraysh for me, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
خوف.
Jazakallah, mashallah, that was really well recited. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. Esti, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request AG 3047 to unmute himself?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, AG 3047. Esti, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request NG 3051 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Could you recite Surah Al-Ma'un for me, please?
Okay. What's the start again?
أرأيت الذي
أرأيت الذي
Start with أعوذ بالله.
يكذب بالدين فذلك
Start with
الذي
أعوذ
يدعو
بالله.
فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم وعلام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
Jazakallah. I think you mixed up Surah Al-Ma'un and Surah Quraysh together. So make sure you revise the last two verses again, okay? Jazakallah. Esti, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request NG 3051 to unmute herself?
We just had NG 305.
That was AG 3047.
Oh, okay. Jazakallah.
NG
Assalamu alaikum.
3051.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Could you recite Surah Quraysh for me, please?
I've done Surah Quraysh.
Okay. Could you recite the first 8 verses of Surah? The 9 to 17 verse of Surah Baqarah for me, please?
I don't know the last 2 verses of Surah Baqarah.
Okay. Could you recite whatever you know for me then?
Yes.
Let's start with A'udhu Billah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون.
Sorry, from وَمِنَ النَّاسِ.
ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما يشعرون في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كاذبون وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض قولوا إنما نحن مصلحون ألا إنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون وإذا لقوا الذين آمنوا قالوا وإذا ولوا إلى شياطينهم قالوا إنما معكم إنما نحن مستهزئون
الله
والله يستهزئ
بهم
ويمدهم في طغيانهم يعمهون
أولئك.
I don't know the last two ones.
Okay, no problem. So you've only got one verse left. Jazakallah. MashaAllah, that was really well recited. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. ST, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request NG3037 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum, NG3037.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Could you recite Surah Quraysh for me, please?
I don't know that,
Okay.
but
Do you
can
know-
I recite Surah Al-Ikhlas?
Yeah, I think you've already recited that. Do you know the verse Ayatul Kursi?
I'm still learning.
Okay. Could you recite Surah Kafirun then, please?
I don't know that too, but can I recite some of Surah Al-Baqarah?
Okay then. If you could start reciting that.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه.
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome assalam.
He has already recited verse 1 to 8 of Surah Al-Baqarah.
Okay, Jazakallah for that. Esti, could you start reciting from وَمِنَ النَّاسِ?
ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وما
وباليوم
هذا
وباليوم
وباليوم آخره
وما
وما
Jazakallah. So you make sure you carry on learning this, okay?
Okay.
Alright, Jazakallah. Esti, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request AG3043 to unmute himself?
Assalamu alaikum, AG3043.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Could you recite Surah Quraysh for me, please?
I didn't know that.
Okay, have you memorized Surah Al-Ma'un? Do you know Surah Al-Ma'un? Assalamu alaikum, AG3043.
I know a little bit of Surah Al-Fil.
Okay, could you recite that then, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر كيف فعل ربك يصحب الفيل
Alam
علم كيف
yaj'al
يجعل كيدهم
fi
وتدري
wa
وأرسل عليهم طير الأبابيل على يدها
tarmihim
بدليل.
Okay, Jazakallah. So make sure you continue learning it. Okay?
Okay.
Jazakallah for coming on the mic. Esti, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request NG3041 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Could you recite Surah Al-Ma'un for me, please?
Okay. What's the starting?
أرأيت الذي
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحوده طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين Allazina salatihim sahun. Allazina yamra'una ma'un.
الذين هم Jazakallah. So you mixed up the last two verses. So it's الذين هم يراءون and then وَيَمْنَعُونَ الْمَاءُونَ. Okay, so make sure you remember that when you're revising the surah. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. ST, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request AG3053 to unmute himself?
Assalamu alaikum, AG3053.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Do you know Ayatul Kursi?
Yes.
Could you start reciting, starting with Auzubillah, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
MashaAllah, that was really well recited. And just towards the end, in the last word here, you pronounced it with a dhamma. So make sure you pronounce it properly. So it's ya'uduhu. Okay?
Okay.
Jazakallah. So make sure you remember that when you're revising this verse. Jazakallah. ST, could I have another student, please?
Yes, can I request AG3055 to unmute himself?
Assalamu alaikum, AG3055.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you recite Ayatul Kursi for me, please?
I don't really know it.
Okay. Could you recite Surah Al-Fil then, please?
Well, I can read it when it's on the screen.
Okay. Do you know any of the other surahs we've covered so far?
No, for Bakra.
Yes. Could you recite the first?
I only know a few verses.
Okay. Could you start reciting from the fourth verse then, please?
What?
Could you start reciting from وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ?
I can't really hear you.
Okay, so we'll get back to you. In the meanwhile, let's take it have another student, please.
Yes, can I request NG3056 to unmute herself?
Assalamu alaikum, NG3056.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you? Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Could you recite Ayatul Kursi for me, please?
Oh, yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. Lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم.
Jazakallah, mashallah, that was really well recited. Jazakallah for being on the mic. So I'll now hand over to our quiz coordinator for her to share her screen. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Yes, you can share your screen.
There we go. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Everyone back from the breakout room as well?
We've just got a few more people in the breakout room.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be out soon.
Okay, I will start my quiz, weekly quiz. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. This is our last quiz. Soon your course will end, and so this quiz will have questions from all your previous lessons. So I hope you are revising all your lessons, and let's begin. So our first question is a multiple choice question about Surah Al-Maun. So it's which two basic principles of Islam does Surah Al-Maun deals with? Option A, worship of Allah. Option B, care of animals. Option C, worshipping idols. Option D, service of fellow human beings. I will launch the polls, and let's see what the popular answer is. I will end our poll here. Let's see what the popular answer is. So most of you have answered option A, worship of Allah, and option D, service of fellow human beings. And let's see if these are the right answers or not. Yes, those are correct. Well done. Move on to our next question, which is which surah is the last whole surah to be revealed? Option A, Surah Al-Fatiha. Option B, Surah Al-Baqarah. Option C, Surah Al-Kawthar. Option D, Surah Al-Nasr. So we've launched the polls. Okay, we'll end our poll here. Let's see what the popular answer is. So most of you have answered option D, Surah An-Nasr. So let's see if that's correct or not. Well done, it's correct. True or false? When Hamza appears on top of Waw or Ya Sakin, the letter Hamza is ignored and the letter underneath is pronounced. True or false? Let's launch the poll. Let's end our poll here. Let's see what the popular answer is. So most of you have answered that this is a false statement. So let's see if you are right or wrong. Yes, you are correct. This is a false statement. If Hamza appears on top of Waw or Ya Sakin, the letter underneath Hamza is completely ignored. Okay, so well done. The rule of Izhar Shafwi, labial manifestation, concerns which Arabic letter? Option A, Nun Sakin, option B, Waw Sakin, option C, Mim Sakin, option D, Ba Sakin. So let's launch the poll. Let's end our poll here. So most of you have answered it as option A, Noon Sakin. Let's see. No, it was Meme Sakin. Okay, so now you have to remember that the rule of Izhar Shafwi concerns Meme Sakin, not Noon Sakin, okay? Next we have fill in the blanks. So this is from Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 85 and 86. So what comes before Sami'na and Wa'ata'na? Okay, is it option A, Waqalu, option A, Waqalu, option C, Lillah, option D, Wama. I will launch the polls. Okay, we'll end the poll here. Let's see what the popular answer is. It is, most of you are saying it's option B, Waqalu. So let's see if that's right or wrong. Oh, sorry. It is option B, Waqalu. On the screen, it's coming up wrong. I apologize for that. So the right answer is option B, okay? Apologies if you're seeing Lillah as the right answer. Okay, we'll move on to our next question, which is, which of the following is not mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 286? Option A, his books. Option B, his messengers. Option C, day of judgment. Option D, his angels. Okay, so we'll launch the polls. We'll end the poll here. Let's see what the popular answer is. So most of you are saying that his books is not mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 286. So let's see if you are right or wrong. No, it is Day of Judgment. His books, his messenger, and his angels, all three are mentioned in verse 286. You make sure you go back and read the translation when you are reciting this verse, and you will realize that these three are mentioned. Okay? So lastly, our last question is, in which verse of Surah Al-Fil does the word Ababil appears? Verse 1, option B, verse 2, option C, verse 4, or option D, verse 6. Let's launch the polls. Let's end our polls here and see what the popular answer is. So most of you have answered verse 4. Let's check. It is verse 4. Well done. And that is the end of our quiz. And it was all of you, mashallah, you've done very well. And I would say, even if this course ends, you make sure that you go back to all these lessons and keep revising what you have learned so that you don't forget it. Allah Hafiz, everyone.
Allah Hafiz and Jazakallah for the quiz. So just before we end the class, I'll go over the homework for today. So your today's homework is to memorize verse 287 of Surah Al-Baqarah. So verse 287 of chapter 2 of the Holy Qur'an. And to revise chapter 1 of the Holy Qur'an, chapter 105 to 114. So the last few surahs of part 30. Then from Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 1 to 17, verse 256, and verses 285 and 286. So in today's class, we covered verse 287 of Surah Al-Baqarah, and we went over the rule quiescent alif and quiescent hamza. So let's go over the ending prayer just before we end. ST, could I have a student for the ending prayer, please?
Yes, can I request AG3077 to unmute himself?
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good as well. Jazakallah for asking. So if you could start with Tawuz and Tasmiyah and then recite the ending prayer, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم واجعله لي إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة Rahma.
Jazakallah, and the translation as well, please.
Oh Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran and make it for me the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Jazakallah, mashallah, that was really well recited.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. So Jazakallah, everyone. for joining the class today. Inshallah, we'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.